We're learning that a key piece of evidence in the search for missing emails from bureaucrat Lois Lerner may have been neutralized after Congress began looking into the matter. Here's correspondent Doug McElway.
In a recently released sworn declaration in Judicial Watch's lawsuit against the IRS, Deputy Assistant Chief Counsel for the IRS, Thomas Kane, acknowledges that Lois Lerner's BlackBerry was, quote, removed or wiped clean of any sensitive or proprietary information and removed as scrap for disposal in June of 2012. That date, June 2012, is significant.
We had already talked to her. I mean, our personal staff and Oversight Committee staff had sat down with Ms. Lerner and confronted her about information we were getting from conservative groups in the state of Ohio and from around the country.
If you intentionally destroy evidence, that is a crime. If you make a statement in court saying the evidence is not available, and it is, that's also a crime.
News of the BlackBerry's destruction follows yesterday's revelation that Justice Department attorneys told Judicial Watch in a Friday phone call that the federal government backs up all computer records to ensure continuity of government in a catastrophe, and that retrieving the Lois Lerner emails would simply be too onerous. Last night, an administration official disputed Judicial Watch's characterization of the phone call. Quote, there was no new backup system described last week to Judicial Watch. Government lawyers who spoke to Judicial Watch simply referred to the same email retention policy that Commissioner Koskinen had described in his congressional testimony. But another lawyer suing the IRS over conservative targeting cites a whistleblower who bolsters Judicial Watch's interpretation.
I received information from a former Department of Homeland Security official who has security clearances. He just retired in April. He contacted me and he contacted Judicial Watch and some members of Congress and said there is backup material.
These dueling perspectives are not likely to sit well with District Court Judge Emmett Sullivan.
He gave the IRS not one but two opportunities in court filings with him to tell him where they were. No mention of this backup system to the court at that time.
Judge Sullivan is known to scold government lawyers who withhold evidence. He appointed a special prosecutor to investigate DOJ's prosecution of now deceased Senator Ted Stevens. He called it the worst case of misconduct he'd seen in 25 years. And Sullivan added, quote, when government does not meet its obligations to turn over evidence, the system falters. Brett?
Doug.